If you're interested in jousting and want to know what it's like to watch an actual joust, then stay tuned because I'm going to tell you all about it. So I'm Shark Whitebeard here at Shark's Tavern, and the name of this video is Jousting. So I'm going to tell you at the Ren Fairs they got a lot of groups and stuff that get out there and joust, and of course what jousting is two knights on horseback charging each other with lances and hitting each other on the shields and sometimes knocking each other out, or knocking them off the horses, dismounting each other. It's really cool if you've never seen one. They got really beautiful horses. The knights are really dressed really ornately in great armor and everything else. And it's also like a sport they use all over the place where they actually compete. It's actually a competition. What they also have, I remember when I was a lot younger, me and the wife went down to Las Vegas and to Excalibur, the nightclub or the casino Excalibur, which was built, and they have a thing called Tournament of the Kings or Tournament of Kings. And you go in there and you watch the joust, and they seat you in different areas, and they tell you which knight is representing you, your group, and everything else. They feed you, I think like a little game hand and some soup and bread and everything else, and you cheer for them. And it's basically like a show, and they charge each other on horseback, and it looks like they have lances, and the lances they usually break apart when they hit each other, and then they usually fall off the horses and go tumbling on the ground. And then they jump out. It's like a story, and they're showing battles, and they fight out with swords. Really cool show they do. And I remember when me and my wife were there later on, we were at some dolphin show, and we met this English couple that came from England, and they said they had watched the Excalibur show, and they thought it was awesome, and they're from England, so they thought it was really cool. Another one, I've never been to it, but they have one in Los Angeles called Medieval Times, and they have the Medieval Times Theater. Kind of out there, I guess, by Disneyland and by Knott's Berry Farm. And they do a show, I've never seen it, and I think they do kind of a show there too also with stuntmen and everybody else and beautiful horses. At the Ren Fair, they got the jousting, and some put on a show and some really charge each other and hit each other on the shields. And they got these gorgeous, beautiful, huge horses. They're huge, and the guys got to get up on these little stair things, almost like a combination stair and ladder. The knights to get on top of them, and the knights kind of even look small on top of these horses. But if you see the knights walking around, they're probably a good 6 foot tall, well over 200-pound guys. And what they do is they charge each other. And I don't know for sure, but in the old days, the knights they rode stallions because the stallions had to be aggressive to charge each other. And we saw one where these two knights were charging each other at one of the Ren Fairs, and one of the horses just locked it up and just stopped. Because you can imagine you have two horses charging each other like that. And the horse just kind of chickened out or something and locked it up like, whoa. So it's a great thing to watch. It's really cool, and you got to appreciate what it happened, the way it looked back in the old days. They're saying that in the old days, in historical times, they would have jousts all over the place. They'd give out, kings and barons and dukes, and they'd put out prize money to whoever won these jousts. And they had some guys that specialized in just jousting. They're really good at it, professionals, and they went from place to place, province to province. And a lot of them, they would sell their skill and whatever to whoever Lord would pay them to come in and support them, kind of sponsor them. And back then, kind of a side note, because you joust with a lance, and they used to call them freelancers. So you hire freelancers to come in and joust in your tournament. Some of the big name guys, some are as popular and as famous as modern day movie stars, rock stars, whatever, the knights who did this. One of them, I remember I was watching the Game of Thrones, if anybody watched that, and they had the one old queen, and she was talking about this and that, and different people and politics and stuff, and then she said, yeah, she goes, my son, or her grandson, she goes, is very, very good at knocking people off horses with a stick, he was a good jouster, one of the best. She goes, and for that reason, people seem to think that he's some great leader, some great politician, that he'd make a great king, and she goes, I have my doubts, but he is very good at knocking people off horses with the stick. So, if you ever get a chance to go to the Ren Fairs when they start up again, it'd be a great thing to watch. If not, you can go to Vegas. I think the shows are playing now. or in Los Angeles at the Medieval Times Theater. So if you like videos like this, go ahead and like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, make a comment. Thank you very much.